Hello, my name is Chloe. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing to you my January TBR. So we're sat down here camped by my TBR cart because, as you will see, that second shelf is looking pretty bare, and that's because I've had to take pretty much the whole shelf off to explain my TBR to you. So January is going to be a very interesting month for reading. I am a team host for something we're doing over on our Facebook group. So in January we are doing a big competition with the current members, which is the Bookish Safari. There are 5 animal zones. We have jungle, ocean, snow, savannah and desert. I am the team captain for Team Jungle, so that is really exciting.
It's not very fun, is it, Chloe? Oh yeah, let's go eat.
It's not a booktube readathon, it's just something little we're hosting on the Facebook group for our current members, to sort of like build team spirit, don't know. But yeah, I thought I'd take you through the books I'm reading because I just think it's a great challenge, and it's also a great opportunity to get 25 books off my TBR. I don't think this is going to be achievable because I have a week of college for my accountancy qualification in January, so that's either going to be a lot more strenuous than my current work or less. I don't know what it's going to do to my reading, but I did want to plan out a book for every single prompt just so I'm covered. So starting with my team Jungle, the first animal we have is sloth, and that is our so there is a big book prompt for every zone so that it's fair. So that is to read a book over 500 pages, and I have gone for Replica by Lauren Oliver. This is a book, it was on one of my Books I'm Daunted to Read videos, and it's just something that I really want to get off my TBR, and it felt pretty easy to read 2 chapters, so I am hoping that this will be a very easy read. This is the story of Lyra and Gemma. It is 2 separate books, but told it's about the same thing, but from 2 different perspectives. I sort of considered just unhauling this, but decided I wanted to give it a go, so I guess January is the time to do that. Next is Frog, and that is to read a book with a green cover, and I have gone for Orion Lost by Alistair Chisholm. I'm going to go with Chisholm. I pronounce it a different way every time I say this author's name. This book was gifted to me by the lovely Helen early in 2020, and I haven't read it yet. So I decided that this was the perfect chance to get to it, as the cover is mostly green and the spine is very green. This is a middle grade sci-fi. I won't say much about the books now as I'm going on because there are quite a few. So middle grade sci-fi. Next we have Tiger, and that is to read a standalone, and I've gone for This Darkness Mine by Mindy McGuinness. This is mine and Brittany's pick for our Sisters Approximately book group. So we picked this way back in November, so I had to fit this onto the TBR somehow. This is about Sasha, who she's first chair clarinet, top of the class, at the side of her Oxford-wearing boyfriend. She worked her entire life to ensure her path to the Oberlin Conservatory as a star musician is perfectly paved. And Sasha finds out she absorbed a twin in the womb and she's missing bits of time. Sounds really, really weird, and I can't wait to read this one with Brittany. I feel like this should be an interesting pick, especially to talk about with our live show. Next we have Parrot, and that is to read a retelling. So I've gone for Mirror Mirror by Jen Kalanita. This is a Disney twisted tale, so it is Snow White, but what if the evil queen poisoned the prince? It's a pretty short book, actually. I'm not sure whether people are classing these as middle grade or YA. I think we're going for YA because they can get very dark. I read As Old as Time by Liz Braswell, which is the Sleeping Beauty one, and I would be concerned giving that to a young child. So we're going to go YA. Yeah, this is What if the evil queen poisoned the prince? Following her beloved mother's death, the kingdom falls to Snow White's stepmother, known as the Evil Queen. At first, Snow keeps her head down, hoping to make the best of things. However, when new information about her parents comes to light and a plot to kill her goes wrong, Snow embarks on a journey to stop the Evil Queen and take back her kingdom. Very intrigued about this one. And finally, for the jungle area, it is Monkey, read a contemporary, and I've gone for 1,000 Perfect Notes by CJ Drews. This is my buddy read with Emily from Noval Novels for the month, and the book itself was actually gifted to me by Laura, who's another of the admins over on the Facebook group. So this is actually, I don't know a lot about it. When I was hanging out with Emily, God, a couple months ago now, we went into a charity shop and saw this book, so we got it for her so that she could buddy read it with me. This is about Beck. Beck's mother was once a famous pianist, but now lives out her shattered dreams through her son. Crushed by her violence and forced to play the piano until his hands bleed, Beck is broken until August comes along. August with her bare feet and doodled hands. August fiercely protective of those in need. Can she help Beck unlock his own music and say all the things he's never said? I'm going to be buddy reading this one with Emily. At the point of filming this video, Emily is in the Facebook group and she doesn't know the challenges yet. So I hope she joins my team so that we can read this one first. Otherwise, we're going to have some issues. So yeah, I'm going to make Emily be on my team and then we can start this in the first week because you cannot move to a different zone until you finish the zone. So Emily, looks like you've got to be on my one. Okay, next let's go through Team Snow. The first prompt is Polar Bear. So this is our big book prompt, read a book over 500 pages. And I have picked up Crave by Tracy Wolfe. This I don't know too much about. It is a YA vampire book is all I can tell you. It says, my whole world changed when I stepped inside the academy. Nothing is right about this place or the other students in it. Here I am a mere mortal among gods or monsters. I still can't decide which of these warring factions I belong to, if any at all. I only know the one thing that unites them is their hatred of me. I'm not going to read more of that. As we said, we haven't got much time to go through 25 books. But yeah, this is a bit of a chunker. And I only recently hauled it, so I feel a bit guilty about getting to it straight away, but I was trying to pick books that weren't too much over 500 pages, and this one seemed to fit. Next is Reindeer, read a gifted book. So this is where I've gone for a much smaller book. I've gone for Lumberjanes Volume 1 by Noelle Stevenson and some other people. This one, again, was actually given to me by Laura, one of the other admins. I have never read any of the Lumberjanes. I am not a massive graphic novel reader, but I decided that I'd like to try to get into them more, and I've heard really good things about Lumberjanes, so time to give that one a go. I believe this is a YA contemporary. Next is Penguin, read a book set in your country, and I've gone for And That's When It Fell Off in My Hand by Louise Renison. This is the 5th book of the Confessions of Georgia Nicholson series, I believe. Yeah, this is number 5. So I read number 4 in December, so time to get on to number 5. This follows Georgia and the Ace Gang, so they're going to be 15, 16 in this book, and everything they get up to. I have not actually been enjoying these books that much. I've been rating them like 1 to 2 stars, but they are very quick reads, and it is like a nice insight into this mentality. Also, I bought all 10 books and I refused to unhaul them without reading them, so got this one. Next, a book I'm really not going to talk about too much, but just to say that it's on here. The prompt is Snowy Owl, and that is to read a book with a magical element. I'm sure you can see where this is going. So I'm going to read the illustrated edition of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. That's as much as I will show it. I own this book. I was actually gifted it for my birthday last year, and I haven't gotten to it yet. So I am going to read it, but you will probably not hear about it. And the last prompt of Team Snow is Arctic Fox, and that is read a book with a wintry cover. The best one I could find was Finding Sky by Joss Sterling. I'm sure I could have gone for like a Christmassy book for wintry cover, but you know, January, I want to start getting out of that Christmas mood, so I've gone for this one. This is about Sky and Zed. Sky has a secret past, having buried the truth of her traumatic childhood deep inside. She's something of a mystery even to herself. Starting a new school, she catches her first glimpse of Zed. He stalks the corridors, a godlike creature among mortals. Sky is dumbfounded when he seems drawn to her, but there's more to Zed and to Sky than she realises. So yeah, I wasn't really sure what this one was about. I can't place it in a genre, but the cover looks pretty wintry. Now let's go on to Team Savannah. Our big book prompt for Team Savannah is Elephant, read a book over 500 pages. So I've gone for A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas. I feel like I'm really going to regret this decision because it is an absolute chunker. It is... okay, it might not be as long as I thought it was. 624 pages. Wow. So, you know, that is a long book, but I have now read A Court of Thorns and Roses twice, so I really need to carry on with the series. And I feel like the amount that I enjoyed A Court of Thorns and Roses, like I read that book, if we were talking about consistent reading, it didn't take me that long to read it. So I feel like, especially as I enjoy these characters, this is going to be not too horrible of a read, not too demanding, even though it's insanely long. So next we have Lion, read an audiobook. For this one I've gone for The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. This is because the audiobook is freely available. As I was planning my TBR, I didn't have access to like a good library app, so I am going for the ones that are readily available on YouTube, like legally. So I've gone for The Wizard of Oz. I do have a lovely edition of this book hidden down there somewhere, and now I decided it's time to make a start in it and read the first of the Oz books. Next is Zebra, and I'm sure you can guess this prompt. That is to read a book with a black or white cover. I've gone for The System by Gemma Malley. As you can see, this is black with a bit of white. I felt like it fit the prompt. This is the third book in the Killables series. The Killables is one of my favourite books of all time. It's a YA dystopian. The second book, The Disappearances, I didn't love, so it's finally time to read the third book and see what I think of the end of this series, and I am nervous. Next is Hippo, and that is to read a book on, in, or near water, like set on, in, or near water, and I've gone for Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. I am refusing to accept that I won't be seeing Brittany in 2021. So at some point she's given me Daughter of the Siren Queen by Trisha Levenseller, which is the sequel, and I cannot remember for the life of me what happened in this book. I listened to the audiobook and loved it so much that I got myself a physical copy, but I can't remember what it was about that much or why I loved it. It is a YA pirate book with a female pirate in charge. That's all I can give you. Finally, in this section, we have Giraffe, which is read a book with a high rating, which we classed as over 3.75, I believe it was, on Goodreads. So I've gone for Masquerade by Melissa de la Cruz. This is the second book in the Blue Bloods series. I am currently reading Blue Bloods in December, so it should be fine to get to this one. I don't know too much about it because I'm still reading Blue Bloods and I don't really know what that one's about yet. I'm in the first 100 pages. So it is a YA vampire book, and I feel like it's going to be an easy read. Okay, let's move on to Team Desert. So our big book prompt, Eagle, read a book over 500 pages. I've gone for Illuminate by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I am going to be requesting the audiobook of this one just because I've heard it's a such a better reading experience with the audiobook, because of its like mixed media thing going on. I've had this for far too long and really need to get to it, so I think I'm actually going to prioritise Team Desert quite highly, because I need to read this book. Next, I have a few on my Kindle just to try and reduce my Kindle list a bit more. So we have Camel, read a book featuring royalty. So I've gone for Something in the Air by Jenny Gardner. This just looks like an adult smutty book with some royals thrown in. I'm all for it. Next, Cobra, read an intimidating book. I've gone for The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. I've put this on my intimidating list because I bought it just because I liked the movie, and now I can't remember anything about the movie. It's also not the smallest book around. It's like over about 450 pages. It's a little book. Yeah, I'm intimidated by this because I loved the movie but can't remember the movie and haven't picked this book up. Like, when did the movie even come out? Who knows? But this book's been around since 2013 and I haven't picked it up yet. I also think it's going to be weird because one of the waves is a disease that kills like quite a lot of the population. So that's a bit intimidating to read. Okay, then we have Llama, read a book with a cute cover. And this is the first one I saw on my Kindle. I thought this definitely fits. It is Cutthroat Cupcakes by Kate Lawley. I know nothing about it. It's an adult romance. Sure, it's very smutty, and there's like a skull and a cupcake, so I'm all for it. And then Meerkat, read a popular book. So I've gone for Verity by Colleen Hoover. I have a few Colleen Hoovers on my Kindle back from the first lockdown, and the outbreak of coronavirus, when Colleen Hoover made all her books free on Kindle for a little while. So I got Verity and haven't read it. So yeah, time to get to that one. And last but not least, we have Team Ocean. The first one, Whale, read a big book over 500 pages. I've gone for Night World Volume 1 by LJ Smith. I know nothing about this. I think I read Night World Volume 2 years ago, like when I was about 14, 15. So this is 3 books mashed together about different supernatural things. We've got Secret Vampire, Daughters of Darkness and Enchantress. What I'm planning on doing if I get to this one is read one book, pick up another book on this list, read the next book, pick up another book, like dip in and out, because I feel like they are completely separate stories, so I can do that. Yeah, intrigued about that. Next we have Shark, read a thriller, and I've gone for The Couple Next Door by Shari Lapina. Mainly, it sounds really superficial. I want to read this book because it's a little mass market paperback and I'm not convinced I'm going to absolutely love it. And I don't typically keep thrillers anyway, so I can read it and unhaul it and get this awkward shaped book off my shelves. That's very superficial. It's just an adult thriller. I don't typically like to read what they are about just because I feel like it gives a lot of spoilers, but it says on this, it all started at a dinner party. And then the twists come as fast as you can turn the pages. So I am very intrigued. I just want to get rid of it because it's tiny, but I also really want to read it because I did get this as a gift from Brittany, or I took it from her unhaul pile. Either way, it's a gift. Next, I actually have another gift. Turtle, read a hardback, and I've got The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. This is again from Brittany, so I do want to read it because, you know, she was nice enough to give it to me, and I've had it a while now and it's sat unread. So I should probably get round to this. Whether I will or not in this giant TBR, who knows, but I would like to try. This is a YA paranormal book, I think. Nearly there. The next one is Octopus. Read a book with a 3-word title. It's because they have 3 hearts. I don't want to keep trying to explain that. It took me a while to remember that fact. So I have gone for The Vanishing Stare by Maureen Johnson. Again, was a gift. This was a gift from my boyfriend for my birthday in 2020, so January 2020, and I haven't read it yet. This is the sequel to the Truly Devious, which I have reread this year because I couldn't remember what it was about to carry on and read the sequel. So I've now reread Truly Devious, so it's time to read The Vanishing Stare so that I don't forget what happened in Truly Devious again. So I need to read this. Maybe I should bump up Team Ocean now. And finally, a book I will definitely be reading when it comes out, I don't care about the challenge, is Sea Lion. Read a book with something metallic on the cover. And I've gone for A Vow So Bold and Deadly by Bridget Kemmerer, which is the 3rd book in the Cursebreakers trilogy. I originally thought this was coming out right at the start of the month, so I found out it was coming out on the 26th. I have pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered it months ago. I cannot wait to read this book. I can't even tell you how excited I am. But yeah, it's been a long time coming and I want it immediately. So those are the 25 books that I'm going to try and read in January. I am fully aware that that is a ridiculous aim. My good months, I've been reading 2021 books and a lot of those have been very short. They've been some of the Horrible Histories books, some of the very short Georgia Nicholson books. So I'm really pushing myself, but I really want to do good things in this readathon. It's the first time I'm going to have quite like such a prominent role in hosting something, so that is going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, on that note, I will stop talking because it's gone off long enough. Let me know if there's any of these books I really need to prioritise. What order do you think I should do the teens in? I have to start with Jungle because it's my team, but what do you think sounds good? Tell me whatever you think. I'm interested in your thoughts. So thank you very much for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.